So you did talk to that forest guy about it?
About another building?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, nothing's for sure.
Yeah,
that building's not even done. They're not even this one, but
Do you know when it's going to start going for lease?
I have no idea. It's just foundation right now.
Damn.
But ever since
we're staying in Bonnie Lake for a while.
Oh yeah, 100%. I literally ever since I had that dream, man, I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's been literally so like ever since I saw Fantasy Factory on MTV, I was like mesmerized.
You want to speak it into existence to our audience?
Kinda. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I do that with most things.
Yeah.
If I say it, then it's like, okay, this is gonna get real. But the only bad thing is like in order for that to become real, our neighbor has to leave. So
not if
I know, but my like vision is
the
having
actual
a door out there in the gym that goes to the next building over.
Yeah.
And then
I don't
that's
even know
like
if the property people would allow you to put a door there. Even if it's this door, it doesn't matter, but
I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean,
it's our space.
Yeah. If we're paying rent, I would probably have to. I don't know how you can't really fix that.
Get like a surveyor. Oh, I
mean, I guess you can
build. You can fix anything.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, like ever since I had that dream, though, it was so sick, dude. So this stayed exactly the same, except this changed because we don't have a podcast studio here. And then there's a door.
Maybe we make the.
So, like in the dream, we were shooting content, right? And it was like we were in here, and then I like walked out into the gym, and I like cleaned and did like a front squat or something like with the bar, right? Dropped it, and my skateboard was like sitting on the ground, and I like hopped on the skateboard and like ollied through the doorway.
Oh my gosh!
And then I was in this like skate park.
Yeah.
And I started like cruising on the mini ramp.
Right after you were skating with Blakely?
It might have been, honestly, it might have been that night. So I was skating on the mini ramp, and then I like jumped off my board and walked into the podcast studio and like sat down, and there was like a studio. And I was like,
dope.
That needs to happen. It'd be so sick.
That'd be so sick.
We would create a viral YouTube channel if we had something like that. Because how interesting would that be?
Yeah.
It'd be so fucking cool.
Yeah. It would be more than just nutrition and fitness.
Yeah, all of a sudden, what are we doing? We're doing. There'd have to be pranks. I feel like if you have something like that,
we got to make something happen. We will.
Yeah, TikTok.
Or
we got to get on TikTok.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about my conversation with Jordan the other day? Jordan Syatt.
Isn't TikTok like going away or something?
Potentially, but what if it doesn't?
Yeah,
we sleep on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But he was like, we were talking about a bunch of different things like social media, and marketing, business, all that stuff. And he was like, you have to get on TikTok. And I was like, man, I did, but I didn't. Like, I tried, and I didn't like it. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. I don't want to dance and shit. Like, it's just weird. He just kept giving me, she's like, dude, you will go viral.
Yeah.
Get on TikTok. I was like, all right, man, I'll do it. And so I challenged Jeremiah. I was like, hey, because he brought TikTok up, started asking me questions. So I started telling him about it. It was like, all right, challenge. Next month, every single day, you and I posting on TikTok. And then he texted me like 3 days later with like screenshots of his videos. He's like, where are you at, dude? Because I hadn't posted. I was like, man, I'm just trying to get you to do it. But no, I was like, I need Travis. When we were moving and shit, I was like, man, I don't got time for this. I didn't post on Instagram for 4 days.
Yeah.
Because I just forgot. We were so busy.
You didn't post on Instagram?
For 4 days. And I literally just forgot.
Yeah.
Which is not the end of the world that I didn't post on Instagram. But usually I already have all the posts written up. I just literally was so busy with moving and trying to keep all the other stuff in the business going that.
Moving houses.
Yeah. That I just completely fucking forgot.
Damn.
But.
Are you done moving? Well.
This time.
No, for the meantime.
Yeah. January we move again.
Yeah. Well.
So we had movers come and take a lot of the stuff. But it was brutal, man. Like trying to get as much as we can from that house into an apartment was very tough.
Are you living in an apartment right now?
Yeah.
Where? I forgot.
Where Shannon used to live.
Yeah.
Those same apartments.
That's where you're commuting from?
Yeah.
You sleep there last night?
Yeah. I've never had a commute, man. Well, I have. I lie. I haven't had a commute in a few years. But yeah, dude, it's different.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, I come home,
cook, sleep.
That's it. Watch Netflix.
Blakely's like, what is this?
Yeah, so it was tough for her at first, man. She was like, I think she was terrified that we were leaving her because for the last like week and a half as we were boxing up the house, she was just tripping out, dude. Every time you try to put her down for a nap, she starts screaming. She's like, doesn't want to go down, wouldn't take naps, wouldn't go to bed at night. Like, it was bad.
Weird.
And so we're like, fuck, I think she literally thinks we're packing up and leaving her. Because why else would she be like, every time we're about to put her to sleep, she's like freaking out because she doesn't want us to leave. And so like when we moved the house, she was kind of freaking out. But then once she like realized that, hey, we're all staying here, she's been loving it. Okay. She's been running around playing. But it's also hard because she screams at the top of her lungs like when she's playing.
Apartment.
Which we never thought of because we're in a house.
Yeah.
You know, she's playing and laughing and screaming. You don't realize how loud it is until you have neighbors.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, shit.
Yep.
But it's interesting, man. It's worth it, though, because we'll have our dream house in January. So got to wait for it to be built.
Yep.
Wells Fargo is annoying because
I just remember you saying that this was your dream house, the one you just moved out of. So I'll just take it with a grain of salt.
Huge change guy.
Yeah. That's fine. As long as this is your dream house and the next one can be your dream house too.
Yeah. I mean, so, but.
You never know what your dream house is until you dream of something else.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now I got a fucking dream fantasy
factory.
factory.
Let's go.
But no, like, if I'm being completely honest, when we first moved in the neighborhood, I actually did look at those houses and I was like,
how? They weren't even built.
That builder. So there's like 4 or 5 builders in our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. That builder was building houses already. The builder's called Mainview. And I was like, we got to get a Mainview home. Those are so sick. And it was just out of our range. Yeah. But with the market being so crazy right now and interest rates so low that I was like, fuck it, man. Let's do it. And it's bittersweet because we love our house. Yeah. But it's worth it.
Is it same color scheme? White?
No. Yeah, we were like, no more white.
Damn. I thought Shannon loved the white.
I love the white too. That was what I wanted, was white counter, white cabinets, white everything. Yeah. It looks nice. Yeah. But man, Blakely loves Cheetos. Yeah. Loves Cheetos. Yeah. So she has Cheeto fingers, and she's like you go up the stairs and you look at the white hand railing and there's like Cheeto fingerprints. You're like, fuck, you got to like wipe everything down. So it's like, no, it's not worth it.
So
I don't even know. I think it's...
You have not seen the house yet?
I have, but Shannon picks the interior. Yeah. You know, I don't do that shit. It's like, I think it's brown. It's some kind of brown. Oh, okay. Brownish.
Gotcha.
Beige, whatever they call it. I don't know. She uses words that for colors that I've never used before, you know.
The color code.
Yeah.
All right. Cool, man. Yeah, let's make that happen. I would just put not a bug, but like
talk to Bob.
Bob, just be like, "Hey, when are they planning on starting opening the lease opportunities?" You know, just saying, "Hey, it's up for grabs."
Well, if that one opens, that would be a partnership with Giant.
Oh, I know.
We do.
Yeah.
I want this one.
Yeah. Maybe Homeboy to move over there.
What like pay him to go?
Yeah.
I know.
I'll give you all those magazines I told you I didn't have if you move.
I got caught in the lie with that one.
Oh man. Anyway,
I don't know why I did that. I felt bad afterwards. It's like, no, I don't know where the magazine is, man. I don't have it. Okay.
Just
he like leaves and I'm like, fuck, I totally have the magazine. The guy dropped it off to me.
Yeah.
God damn it, I gotta go tell him.
You didn't tell him?
I didn't, but I felt like I wanted to. There's a good example. Usually I do, but that guy is just he's such a mean person.
Yeah.
But I would
say angry.
I was at Fred Meyer.
Or mean.
Well, I mean, when he's talking to people on the phone through the wall, you can hear how mean he is to me.
Yeah, that's true.
Or he's just pissed off all the time.
Yeah.
Either way, I feel bad for him. But at the Fred Meyer parking lot, I was doing the grocery pickup, and I like pulled in, and there's a car next to me, and they're like staggered spots, you know? It wasn't him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like,
I rolled down the window and spit my gum out, and the wind took it and went dunk right on her hood. And she didn't even notice. And I'm like, oh, fuck. She's on the phone. Do I say something? I'll just wait till she gets the phone. And like 30 seconds pass by. I'm like, that's just going to melt on her hood. And then it's not going to come off. So I like just got out of my car and walked over and reached in the middle of her hood, like looking at her and just pop. Like it like stretched and I like pulled it off. I was like, I spit my gum on your hood. Sorry.
What did she say?
She was like, oh my God, thank you for actually taking it off. I would have been afraid to say something. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, no problem.
Done.
Yeah. Did the right thing.
Not everybody's like that. So you're saying he probably wouldn't have been like that.
No, he wouldn't have. And I'm saying usually I don't do things like that and not
say something.
Yeah. Usually, I mean, I usually don't do things like that. I don't know why. It's just like froze.
You scared of him?
I feel like I might have been intimidated.
Yeah, he's angry. Angry old man. Grumpy old man.
He told me that he told me that I just starve people. Literally.
To your face?
Yeah. He was talking to me on Andreas one day, and he was like, "Oh, I need to get in shape." And I was like, "Oh yeah, man," because he was like looking at the gym when we first moved in here, and he was like, "Yeah, so I mean, you guys basically just starve people for a living, right?" And I was like,
"Nope,
no, man, make people get healthy."
Yeah,
Like,
wow.
What was your name again?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, nice to meet you, dude. Like, and then he goes, you want to split the Comcast bill?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what?
No.
Share cable with you? Like, dude, no. Still don't even know your name. Funny neighbors.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting neighbors when you get a warehouse space. Look out for that, people. All right.
Let's get on with the questions.
Get on with the questions. It's enough ranting.
All right. So first question today comes from Stacy Orme. Says, hi, Cody. What do you think about Drew Manning's fit to fat to fit challenge? Fit to fat to fit challenge.
So I've heard of it. I don't know much about it or him. I'm assuming he was fit. He got fat, and then he transformed again, and now he like made a product out of it. But I think he was like known for something else. So it's more of like one of those like celebrity workout things.
Yeah.
And when you go to his website, there's a lot of like keto challenge, it's either 60-day or 6-month transformation challenge, like products like that. I'm not one to like talk bad about people. It's just not my thing. It's not what I believe in. It doesn't match up or align with my philosophy. Promoting very specific fat burning, quote unquote, results because of a keto, quote unquote, diet is something that I don't agree with, because I think that's the opposite of individualized nutrition, sustainable nutrition, things that we do.
Definitely.
There's a lot of like challenges and keto challenge or transformation challenge and things like that. I don't believe in that either, because if you're only doing it for a challenge, you're not learning what it takes to sustain it after the time period of that challenge, right? So like
main word, sustainability.
100%.
Yeah.
So for me, like I fucking hate challenges, to be honest. I just hate challenges. I hate transformation contests, all that stuff. And it actually stems back from when I was an in-person trainer. Like we would have people who do Groupons, and they'd buy a 30-day Groupon for a really cheap deal, and then you wouldn't see them for 6 months until the next Groupon came out, and then they'd do it again, and they were always in worse shape than the first time.
Yeah.
So it's like this cycle of challenges and transformation contests just doesn't work. It's not going to create the lifestyle you need to sustain the result or change the result.
Yeah.
At all. So yeah, I'm not about it. Like I said, I don't want to talk bad about him.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be like, the thing is with this too is like, he's somebody that is, if he is like a celebrity endorsed product or whatever, he's gonna have tens of thousands of people do it. There's gonna be people who their lives change for the better because of it. Like It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It just, to me, doesn't align with what I like to teach, what I like to preach, my philosophy of training and nutrition.
Yep. And I think those challenges and those Groupons and everything, hopefully the idea of them is to spark something in somebody to where they use that Groupon and then they continue on with that membership or whatever, and not just stop and then do it.
Yeah.
But if 100 people use the Groupon, they're hoping for one.
Yeah.
It helps one person.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? But the majority, like you said, probably use it just for the Groupon.
Yeah.
And then
if you can pull out like 5% of the people that do the Groupon as like sustainable members, it's a good investment, because Groupons are cheap, you know, in order to run as a business owner. But yeah, man, and even just thinking about like the title, Fit to Fat to Fit, it makes sense. Like if he was if he ran a podcast, which he might run a podcast, I don't even know. I have no idea. So if he does, then this is a good name for a podcast, because it's his journey from going from fit to fat to fit. How did he do that? That's a cool name for a podcast.
For sure.
But for coaching or transformation, it doesn't really make sense, because if you're telling me I'm going to get fit, then fat, then fit again, you're telling me that this is unsustainable.
Yep.
Like, it's literally saying like, this could get you fit, but you'll probably get fat again. But if you come back,
you get fit.
You'll get fit again. It's like
marketing.
Is that good, or I don't know. So yeah, I don't agree with it completely, but again, like I said, there's a lot of companies in the industry that don't align with my opinions or philosophy or how I think it's done best, but they still help people.
Yep.
You know, they say, I mean, especially the ones that reach way more people than us, even if they have a worse product, they have a bigger sea to fish from, they're going to help thousands of people. So the net benefit is always going to be good.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not the way I would do it.
For sure. All right. Next question comes from Heather Nuns, or Noons, either way. Currently in a deficit, not aggressive, but a deficit nonetheless. I am not feeling diet fatigue. However, I am feeling run down in my training. I am curious how you would implement nutrition for a deload week while in a deficit. Thank you so much.
It kind of depends on the timeline of somebody's progress. So if you come to me and you're in a deficit because your goal is fat loss, and we are on a 12 or 16-week plan, like we really have this end goal, I'm not going to touch your nutrition.
Yeah.
Stay in a deficit. You're going to deload, therefore volume intensity is going to lower, therefore you're probably going to have more time out of the gym. You're going to have less joint inflammation. You're going to probably have better sleep, less cortisol fluctuations. You're going to recover more, even if you don't touch your diet. So if the goal is fat loss, a lot of times I'm like, hey, I don't want to touch it. If the goal is... I mean, that's really the only time that you would even need to touch it, because like a lot of people ask, should I do a diet break when I do deload so you can kind of like double down on recovery? I'm very unlikely to do that unless somebody's like really beat up.
Yeah.
Because you even think about like maybe if it was like an athlete who is training super hard and needs that extra recovery, but if you're training a high-level athlete, they shouldn't be in a deficit anyway. They should be at maintenance or a surplus, because that's how they're going to perform well. So you don't need a diet break because you're not dieting. You know what I mean? You just need the deload. So typically I think it's fine to just do the deload.
Can you explain beat up?
If somebody's
hormones,
joints hurt, they're fatigued, their nervous system. I mean, like think of like following like an 8-week program of just hard, high-intensity training, you're going to be beat up at the end.
Okay.
You're just going to be lethargic and kind of fatigued. You're going to need a deload. But it doesn't necessarily mean you need a diet break too. Now, if you're in a deficit and you're training that hard, maybe. If recovery is really bad, I would do it. Or if the stars just align, like if I have them on a cycle, like I've had people where, you know, we are taking a diet break every 6th week, right? 5 weeks of dieting, 6th week is a full diet break. And one time it just happens to be that's your deload week 2. That's fine. I'm going to keep it. You know, we're not going to change it. But I'm not going to implement a diet break in just for the sake of doubling down on recovery when the deload's going to do that for me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I might do it if we get to, so the deload starts on Monday, and you get to Friday, and you're still just run down. You're not excited to get back to gym on Monday. I might say, hey, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bump your carbs up to diet break level, refeed level, and then Monday, get back to the diet. Because the deload obviously didn't work.
For sure.
But that's kind of like a reactive decision to make later on in the week of the deload. Usually with a deload week, by like Thursday, Friday, you're like, man, I'm ready to train hard again, you know, and you got to still wait till Monday. So, yeah, that's typically how I do it. If you have a timeline for your fat loss, I probably wouldn't even do it. Stay in the deficit.
Yep. Gotcha. All right. So, moving on here. We got the next question comes from Run, Eat, Repeat 138. During a reverse, do you need to cut out cardio if you enjoy running?
Very ironic.
During a reverse.
From run, eat, repeat.
Yeah.
During a reverse diet.
Do you think they enjoy running?
And eating on a reverse.
And repeating During a reverse, do you need to cut out cardio if you enjoy running?
Yeah, so typically on a reverse diet, you will decrease cardio along with it, because the whole point of a reverse diet is to reverse the adjustments you've been making during the diet to get you closer to maintenance. But if I'm increasing your calories and keeping cardio, I'm still keeping energy expenditure high and that deficit high. So typically what you're going to do is slowly remove cardio while slowly adding calories at the same time. Now, if you enjoy running, I think it's a matter of you don't have to cut out all of the running, but you need to cut out some of the running. So I've had people where they are doing cardio 5 days a week for fat loss, right? And they love running, so we keep 1 or maybe 2 running days.
Yeah.
Purely for psychological purposes. They enjoy running mentally. So we have 4 days lifting, 2 days running. I'm cool with that. And we just keep it there. So basically what you want to do is you want to reverse the cardio out until it gets to the point where you know it's sustainable. And it's sustainable because you actually enjoy it, right? So for me, that's typically going to be 1 or 2 days a week, depending on how many days I'm lifting. If I'm lifting 5 days a week, 1. If I'm lifting 4, 2, because I like training 6 days a week. That's the only reason, right? Not because I need cardio, but I just enjoy, I mean, debatably it's good for you, but I enjoy training 6 days a week. So I'm going to keep that much in there no matter what, right? So if I was reverse dieting, I wouldn't take that out. But if I was doing 6 days to get to my like photo shoot lean physique, then I would cut that from 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2, and then I'd keep it at the 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also think like you should change the type of cardio you're doing on those days in order to enjoy it more. Because if I have somebody doing cardio purely for fat loss and I'm adding it in, it's most likely going to be low intensity because you're in a diet, and I don't want to add more fatigue to you. And track it, like when it comes to a standpoint of tracking cardio, the easiest cardio to track is treadmill, incline walking. Because you can say, hey, you're going to set the treadmill to the same incline every week. You're going to go to the same speed every time you do it, and you're going to walk for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's like, I know you're doing 30 minutes every time. It's easy to track. The type of cardio and conditioning I do is hard to track because it's different every time. I'm doing the rower, then I'm doing the sled, then I'm doing a circuit, then I'm doing running. Like, and I do that on purpose because I'm just working on general conditioning and it's fun. Mm-hmm. So you should change your cardio to something like that by the end of the reverse versus you're still just doing your 30 minutes of walking, right? Like if you don't enjoy that, don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's good to know. And
you can also change how you're doing it too, like from a standpoint of, maybe you're doing the treadmill because it's easy to track and you can repeat the exact same intensity every single time because you go to the same gym, use the same treadmill with the same incline, same speed. But maybe by the end of the reverse, you're doing trail walks.
Yeah.
Which, who knows if you're burning the same amount of calories every time. But it's way more enjoyable.
For sure.
For walking 30 minutes through the woods versus on a treadmill.
Yeah. Dope. All right. Next question comes from John Lava? John Alva? I can't even.
Alva.
John Alva. Yep. John Alva 7.
I'm pretty sure there is a old pro skateboarder with the last name Alva.
Huh.
Tony Alva? You ever seen Lords of Dogtown?
No.
Oh, it's a good movie.
I mean, I know of it.
Heath Ledger was in it.
Nice.
Good movie, dude.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
When did you know you were ready to create the membership portion of your business? Good question.
It is a good question.
When did you know you were ready?
For me, it actually started, so two things. Like one, it was always like a vision of mine. Like when I first started doing anything in the industry, my thought process of creating an online company of like kind of led to that because I saw what people were doing. And the businesses I saw that were successful online, they had memberships. They had like a cheap, like you pay this cheap membership, you get training done for you. There's a forum. That's just what it was. Online individual coaching wasn't a big thing yet. So from the get-go, I was like, that's what I need to do. But I also knew that nobody knew who I was. I had no social media presence, and I had like a year or two of experience in the gym. Not enough, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, once I get 5+ years, once I have a little bit of a following, once people know who I am, once I'm like a little bit more well-respected, I have some education under my belt, then I might toy with the idea. But it kind of went away because I fell in love with the process of individual training, individual nutrition, until I got to a point where I just couldn't handle the amount of people I was working with. Like it just got to a point where I'm like, okay, I can coach nutrition for a lot of people, but I can't do training and nutrition for that many people. And I have people asking me for training, right? Like over and over and over again. And I'm like, I don't have the time to do it. And I don't have any coaches that work for me yet. And I brought on a coach. I think I had 2 coaches before I launched the membership site. And they were just nutrition coaches. So they didn't do training. So it's still kind of in this like weird place. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm making these ebooks and giving people ebooks, but it's a 12-week program and then it's done.
Yeah.
Right? How does it evolve? Like, how do I get this more interactive?
And individualized.
Yeah,
Because
and a little bit more
ebooks
tailored.
Yeah.
And so I thought of it like this, like, how can I work with more people? How can I give training to my nutrition coaches? And how can I basically make it more affordable for the people who don't need a highly tailored or individualized program? Because I was getting, for example,
Or want.
I had 10 people, or want.
Yeah.
But for example, I have 10 women who are all between the ages of 30 and 35, who all want to lose fat, who all have 4 days a week to train, and who all have a good amount of experience, but they're not advanced athletes.
Yeah.
No injuries. Why would I recreate a program for each individual when all of them should be doing the exact same thing?
Yeah.
Right? They have the exact same goal, same demographic. Why would I charge for my time when I can have a big group of people all doing the same things, getting the same exact result, right? So then I created the Tailored Trainer just for that. So it wasn't even like a standpoint of like, I need to make this much money or have this many members before I can create this. I did think that I needed some clout from a standpoint of like, I don't need a massive following, but I need to have like a good business. Like people need to fuck with me if I'm going to create a membership site. Otherwise, what's the point? You get 4 people in at $20 a month or whatever you're going to make it for. It's like, come on, what's the point?
100%.
And originally I did want to make something that was like $20 a month, but we just put so much value into the Tailored Trainer that we had to bring the price up. But So I just got to a point it was a necessity. It's like I need to be able to give these people good programming without charging an arm and a leg.
Yeah. And I think True Coach gives you that ability to tailor it to each person that signs up with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you have do you sign up every person that signs up for the Taylor Trainer? Do you sign them a coach?
No. If they have, so the way it works is like if you
work with a coach for nutrition.
Exactly.
Okay.
So all the coaches are in my True Coach count as coaches. So if you're working with Lisa for nutrition and you join the Taylor Trainer, I'm going to put you under Lisa's account, my True Coach, so she can oversee your training.
Go. Okay.
But you're still following a program that I created. The tailoring part of it is, you know, like if you come in, you want to lift 4 days a week and you want to lift Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to adjust the schedule, make that fit. Yep. But we're not going to handpick your exercises. If you tell us like, hey, we need to, I don't like this exercise or I don't have this equipment, I'm going to give you advice. I'm going to talk to you in the group. I'm going to tell you what I would change, but we're not going to hand adjust everybody's program inside True Coach. Otherwise, we'd be doing that for hundreds of people.
Yeah.
It's unsustainable.
Yep.
And that's what our individual coaching. So if you want to do like actual customized training, we have a couple coaches who do training as well, and you can hire for training and nutrition and get a completely customized plan through True Coach.
Yeah.
The reason we still call it the Taylor Trainer and why we do think it is still pretty tailored is because we have, now I don't even know how many programs are in there, but 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 day, upper, lower, full body, push, pull legs, variations of all those. We have ones with some Olympic lifting. We have more powerlifting base, more bodybuilding base, more like give a little bit of that CrossFit feel. We have add-on programs. So if you're like, I just need 2 extra days of conditioning or 2 extra days of abs or 2 extra days of bodybuilding because I do 4 days of CrossFit at my gym. We have all those things. So there's just so many options that you really can tailor the training for you. And then we put them on the days of the week that you want to train. And then you have access to me in the group.
You think you have 15, 30, 50
What?
programs in there?
Oh, yeah, probably like 30.
30?
Yeah.
I knew at one time there was almost 20, but you've added more since then.
Yeah. And it's probably somewhere between 20 and 30. I know there's more than 20, but they're all in True Coach now too, which is really cool because then you just have this app on your phone that just delivers programs for you every day.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
I love True Coach.
Yeah, it's so much better. I even I use it for my brother-in-law. Shannon uses it. Like it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
Very
convenient.
Very convenient. So
cool.
But when I guess like I don't know if that answers this question very well, but it was basically just like when I decided I needed a membership site was when I didn't have the capacity to.
That's what I got from it.
Do any more of what I was doing. Yep. Right? I just needed, and I was building a team of nutrition coaches, and I knew, there's nothing more frustrating as a nutrition coach when you have this client who is in a deficit, is locked into nutrition. You don't want to bring their calories down lower because you know they could get more out of their results if their training was on point, but their training just sucks. Like they're just not doing a good program, or they're a part of a circuit class online that just isn't custom at all, isn't intelligently periodized, nothing. It's just like, let's make you sweat. There's nothing more frustrating to me than that when I'm like, God, you could get such better results if your training was just good.
Yeah.
But then, people are like, well, I can't spend hundreds of extra dollars a month right now on a trainer because it costs a good amount of money because programming takes a long fucking time for somebody. So, and that's why personal trainers cost so much money.
Yeah.
So it was perfect because I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just make this so everybody can do the same stuff. And it's actually kind of fun because then there's people in the group that are like, oh, I'm doing that program too.
Yeah,
and I'm loving this. And they're like, there's camaraderie.
So much interaction in that group. I love it.
I know. I love it too, man. It's good. I can't recommend it enough. I know it's my product, but for people listening, I can't recommend it enough.
I think other people will vouch the same thing.
Yeah. There's just nothing better than having it all done for you. You don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
It's $57 a month. That's as much as some gym memberships.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cheaper than most gym memberships if you look at CrossFit and functional fitness facilities and stuff like that. And it's all
almost half. Yeah.
Great intelligent programming.
Yeah.
It's just, we're going to come out with a sample program thing soon so people can kind of get a taste of it. And that's why I'm doing it, is because so many people are like, can I see a sample of what the workouts look like? And we haven't figured out a way to do that, but with this PDF that you're creating for us, it's going to be a perfect way to share that.
Yep. Cool. I think you answered that question great. All right. Next one is from Jacob Talbertson. Tips for brand new trainers with no clients or experience.
Start writing blogs and get an internship.
There we go.
Plain and simple. That's the best. I think that if you can't write at least 1,000, but let's say 2,500 plus word blog on a topic, you don't know enough. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to know that you're educated. I want to know that you know stuff. And even if like we get, I don't know what the statistics are. We get a lot of traffic to our website, but let's say we get half as many people reading our blogs, if that, as we do listening to the podcast, which is probably very true because more people want to hear.
Absolutely.
The point is long form content trumps. So even if you're like, you know what, I'm going to write blogs and I'm going to record podcasts, but I'm going to do more podcasts because it's easier for me to talk. Cool. If you can talk on a topic for an hour, or you can sit here like I am and get asked a bunch of questions that you haven't even really looked at and have answers for all of them.
Write it.
It means you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It means you have the credibility and the knowledge to have somebody's health and body like in your hands. Like you're responsible for them getting results and they're going to pay you. So if you can't do that, then I don't think you should be training people yet.
Yeah,
and if you're like, man, well, like, okay, so I need to start studying more.
So educate yourself.
Educate yourself, number one. Create long form content because that's how you're going to retain that knowledge better, and it's going to display what you do, and that's going to bring you clients. Because people can find us on, and here's a little business tip for people. People can find us on Instagram, and that's great. Get their attention. Awesome. It's a great way to do it. But if you can't send them somewhere else where they can get way more in-depth content, you're lacking a fundamental step in a business, period.
Yep.
So when we attract people to Instagram, it's like, okay, cool. Now go listen to me talk on this for an hour. Hey, go watch this seminar that I did in front of 100 people. Hey, read this blog that'll take you 30 minutes to read because it's 5,000 words. Like, check out this stuff.
You got to back up the original attraction.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So I think that's huge, and I think you should get an internship. I think every great friend I have in the industry, or like strength coach I respect in the industry, all interned for somebody. Yep. They worked for free. They worked for knowledge. They worked in order to attain somebody else's knowledge. Every single one of them. And it used to be, and it's hard now because everybody wants to be an online coach, and it sucks with COVID because my best advice for people who are like, oh, how do I get an online coach? It's like, go be an in-person coach for however many years first so you can get real good experience working with people hands-on. But now it's hard to go get a job at a gym because there's not that many gyms open right now.
Yeah.
And for those who are, they're probably not hiring.
Yeah. Let alone open.
Yeah. So right now, start with the education part, or go intern in one of those. Work for free. Like there's plenty of places. But if you look at like classically before online coaching, and it was just like strength coaches, everybody interned. I mean, if you wanted to be a strength coach for a football team, what did you do? You went and interned for a football team.
Yep.
The strength coach at the football team in the weight room. If you wanted to be a nutritionist or a dietitian, same exact thing. There's interns for training facilities, for gyms, for even for online coaching now. But I just think it's so important, man.
For sure.
Yeah. So that would be my recommendation.
Cool. I was just thinking, you but you worked in person for 6 years.
6.5.
6.5. Yeah, I was trying to.
It's crazy.
All right, we got 2 questions from the same person, it looks like. It is C.I. Cooper. C.I. Cooper. Greatest accomplishments over the last 3 years, and what are you looking forward to?
What was that Cooper that the plane went down, they never found him? Stole all the money?
I know what you mean, but can't think of it.
That's what it reminded me of.
It's a two-letter, and then
JP? JP Cooper?
Something like that.
JB Cooper or something?
JB Cooper? Should be like Jamie on Joe Rogan. Let me look it up.
You got to get a...
Did you watch the David Blaine one?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
No, I didn't watch the end yet. Is that where he does all the magic?
Yes.
Because Vinny
magic, he just swallows a frog.
I mean, what the fuck?
You didn't watch it very much then.
No, I listened.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear that part.
Oh.
But I didn't finish the podcast.
Yeah. He drinks...
I remember him talking about swallowing a frog.
Yeah, he drank 1.1 gallons of water at the desk.
Yeah.
And then he swallowed the frog, and for like 45 minutes, and then he brought it back up, and it was hopping on the table.
What the fuck, man?
Okay.
That's not even magic. That's just like, that the frog is amphibious and it's not going to drown. So,
I mean, can you do that? I think the magic. It's not magic. It's more of a trick.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You have to know how to bring it back up. Yeah, he felt it hopping.
Well, he's not even. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah,
he's not even just a magician. He's an illusionist, which is honestly
DB Cooper.
DB Cooper.
Yeah, we wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah. You ever seen a movie Without a Paddle?
I think in college I watched it, but I don't remember.
They're like looking. It's like they go back to their like childhood treehouse and they're like, we got to find JB Cooper.
DB, but
DB Cooper.
Either way.
Yeah. It's funny.
Anyway,
David Blaine.
I don't know where you're going with that. Yeah. Anyway, it was wild.
He froze himself for like 72 hours.
Dude, last night, so he went on Joe Rogan. He'd been going on these shows like to promote, obviously.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, you don't even know about this, but did you listen to the podcast? Why he was on there? What he was promoting? Okay. Side tangent.
I thought he was just on there just to be on there.
No. So he does these massive tricks, right? Well, you know the movie Up?
The air balloon.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I heard him talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So he's doing it.
He did it last night. Yeah.
Is he gone? He disappeared?
He did. I mean, but he's back now. So he went 25,000 feet into the air with balloons. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's like, I think Mount Everest is 28,000. But anyway, he was up there. He was like, had an oxygen tank and stuff. And then he goes, and he free fell and landed. But
Did he have like a parachute?
Yeah. Dude,
was he in like a basket? Like a hot air balloon?
Just holding on to balloons. Yeah.
With his hand. Was he tied to him?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I was like, what, he just holds on to him for that long?
He had a harness. Yeah.
That is crazy.
But, I mean, as long
a bunch of little balloons, though?
No.
Like
they were like 6 or 8 massive helium balloons. Not like a...
Yeah.
Not a hot air balloon. Just balloons.
That is wild.
Yeah. Did you have to... I mean, you might not care about it, but it was...
No, 100%.
It was insane. And the background story about how he had to do 500...
hours of,
No, 500 jumps.
Oh, shit.
He had to get his hot air balloon license. He had to get his helium balloon license.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
500, like, free fall jumps?
Yeah. In, like, 3 months.
Yeah.
YouTube paid for everything. And the guy that jumped in that little capsule from, like, the moon, you remember that Red Bull thing where that guy... Oh, yeah. The guy went up to the moon and, like, came back down to Earth in a little capsule for Red Bull. That guy was part of it. The guy that jumped out of a plane with no parachute was part of it.
How the fuck did he get down?
People caught him in a net. He just jumped. You don't know about this?
No.
Oh, dude, I'll show you in a little bit. Yeah. His name is...
People are crazy.
Yeah, dude, that guy's wild. Yeah.
He does some wild stuff. He buried himself alive. He froze himself.
No, Dave Blaine didn't jump out of the plane with no parachute.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Okay.
But I'm saying yeah, Dave Blaine did a bunch of
buried himself
shit.
alive, froze himself, held his breath for 20 minutes underwater.
Yeah.
20 minutes. And he said that prepared him to do this balloon thing because he hypoxic is what it is, like where you run out of oxygen.
Hypoxia.
Yeah, he had to breathe a certain pattern when he's up there to be able to not freeze and to be able to keep oxygen. And that's how he held his breath for 20 minutes underwater. I don't know, dude. It's insane. Joe was talking about like how people that are the best at anything, like you live it, you like are obsessed with it. Like he's been practicing this since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Fuck.
So what's your biggest accomplishment? What are your greatest accomplishments over the last 3 years, and what are you looking forward to? Back at it.
Oh, it's a good question.
Yeah. Listen to the first 10 minutes of this podcast, and you'll hear about what we're looking forward to.
That would probably be it. Biggest accomplishments.
Last 3 years.
3 years. I mean, definitely, obviously, having a kid.
Oh,
huge. Getting married. Both of those for sure.
Yeah.
Just because. It's honestly one of those. I was talking to one of my clients about it. Shout out to Christina. Congrats. They just got engaged, but she went on a trip, and her now fiance proposed. She wasn't expecting it, but it was like I told her, I was like, it's one of those things where like it's the greatest moment of your life. Like it's supposed to be the best moment of your life, and when it actually happens, like it's the craziest feeling ever. Like I remember you remember I was so fucking nervous all day, and I don't get nervous, ever. And I was like shitting my pants. I was like worried about everything. I was pacing, and I was like, why am I so terrified to marry the person I've been with, living with, and have a kid with?
Yeah.
but I was freaking out. And then the second she walked down, like came in the room, it was like the craziest feeling. And then I remember sitting in those like thrones at the dinner table when everybody was eating.
Oh, yeah.
And just like sitting there with a drink, like just exhausted by then. Blakely was sitting on my lap and just looking at the room of like all my loved ones. And I was like, this is the coolest fucking thing I have ever done or experienced in my entire life. It was so cool.
All about you.
The wedding was fun as hell too. Yeah. So definitely biggest accomplishment was getting married, having a huge wedding, doing that whole thing. I wouldn't even say just having a kid, but like successfully raising a kid.
Yeah.
Trying to at least, figuring it out.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever a success. Well, that's wrong to say, but like it's never ending. So like
no, and you're always working on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you never feel like you're doing enough or you're doing the right thing or you're always trying to learn, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But definitely those two. As far as like, I know he was probably more asking about business, but it's hard for me to say because I don't even if I was like, okay, only business top 3, I really don't know. It's hard to say because it's like,
first off, there's been so much that's happened in the last 3 years.
It's insane. I think the business is 3.5 years old, 4 years old. Think about it. I left Vigor in 2017.
Touche.
I mean, I started this business before I left.
In the last 3 years.
Leaving.
Everything.
Yeah, leaving Vigor was one of the biggest ones because that took a lot of guts. It was scary. I gave up all of my clients in order to start my own business. Scary as fuck, especially when I know I have a pregnant girlfriend at home.
Yeah.
Like, terrified. So just being man enough to do that was a big accomplishment.
Yeah. I think that's super badass how you were just like, but I got this, Shannon. And look at it now.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I got this.
Honestly,
break up with me right now or we got this. Like,
thank God for her. Like, she literally was just like, okay. I didn't even have to say like, I know I can. I was literally like, hey, I think I want to do this. And she literally just looked at me for like a minute maybe and goes, okay, do it. I know you can. And I was like, all right. And then at that point I was like, I still kind of doubt the shit out of myself, but my girlfriend is expecting me to pull this off now. So it's like accountability, you know?
Really?
Oh yeah.
You doubt yourself?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
I mean, dude, think about it. I was training people in person, all the security in the world.
Yeah.
For 6.5 years, I had this dream to create this online thing. And for me to step out on a whim, you know,
I'm not you, but in my mind, I thought maybe you like not doubt yourself, but said, man, this is going to take a lot. Maybe I don't know when it will pop or I don't know when
100%.
But I know it will, but the doubt is like when.
I had enough confidence to not let that doubt like overcome me taking action.
There you go.
You know, because when I say I had doubt, I think everybody has doubts.
Sure, okay.
You know, so
or confusion.
Yeah, or just worry, overlum, stress, you know, anxiety. But I think I had enough confidence to know. And I definitely was kind of like, this could take 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know.
Yep.
But I'm just going to go for it.
I just see all those other words a lot differently than doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
You wouldn't have done it if
I doubted that much.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. I think anxiety would be the right.
Sure.
Because it's just a big move.
Sure.
But I mean, that was one of the biggest accomplishments. I can't even, I would say starting the team is one of the biggest ones, but also not even just starting, like developing the team because, the team is
so many milestones. Yeah,
it's just a massive team full of really smart people.
Yeah.
Like everybody in the team is like actually really, really fucking smart. You go to a lot of gyms and there's like, oh yeah, there's a couple good trainers and that guy just likes to work out.
Yep.
And, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But like everybody is fucking on top of their shit.
Yep.
I think the rebrand was a huge accomplishment. The warehouse was a huge accomplishment. Honestly, for me, hiring you full-time was a massive accomplishment.
And for the company.
For sure. But even just like mentally knowing that like I could do that was like the coolest feeling ever.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But how do you put a number on any of those?
Yeah.
You know, which one was better than the other?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
and they're all in the last 3 years. That's like great question, but we can't really like break that down. The warehouse.
Dude,
that was a game changer.
Such a game changer.
Yeah. Working in my bedroom and you working in your office, like there's only so much you can get done.
Eating at Starbucks every once in a while to like discuss.
Yeah. Can you come over next week and film?
Yeah. All right. Come at noon because Blake will be napping.
Yeah.
And we can go on the other side of the house when she's not, you know what I mean? Like,
wild.
Or, hey, like my buddy will let us come in the gym between CrossFit classes.
Yeah.
Let's get over there as soon as we can.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Game changer.
But like that's the kind of shit you have to do.
to do.
Like a lot of people are like oh, I can't do it at home because I have a family, or oh, I can't do it because I don't have a gym, or oh, it's like
Make it happen.
Make it. There's always a fucking way.
Yes.
Dude, we were filming shit at Anytime Fitness with a bunch of people around training. And just trying to act like I can't see them staring at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I feel awkward walking around Anytime Fitness with a camera.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
In a small town.
Yeah.
With a bunch of people that we went to high school with.
Yeah.
So they're like, God damn it, what is what are these guys doing?
Good luck, dude.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I think, honestly, if I had to pinpoint one, I would honestly say the biggest catalyst was actually probably the rebrand.
Yeah.
Because I think the rebrand, it influenced how the team developed so much. It influenced this facility. It influenced our philosophy, like what we're known for.
Yeah.
It influenced our clout in the industry and our reach. Yeah. It influenced my excitement about this brand.
Yeah.
Because I'm obsessed with tailored everything.
Did you, sorry, I'm not interrupting. I'm just adding on to this. Were you online coaching when you were in your apartment in Renton?
Technically, yes, but I had like 1 or 2 clients.
Okay.
But I was like,
I want to say that I've been there since the day, like.
Yeah, basically.
I mean,
I'd never called myself an online coach at that point.
Yeah.
It was basically like, there was one lady who lived in New York. She was a like Broadway actress.
Yeah.
Her name was Sarah. She hired me and she paid me through PayPal. I think she would send me PayPal every like 2 months. Like every other month she would pay, like, and I would just do all of her programming.
Yeah.
And Kevin Knutson would pay me through Venmo.
Damn.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like I'm an online coach taking clients. They were like, Kevin hit me up and was like, hey, I don't live in the area, but can you help me? I was like, sure. Venmo me. It was so fucking cheap. I can't even remember what I Venmoed him, but it was just like dirt cheap. I was like,
Is he
sure.
still with you?
No, but he was with me for 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years straight.
Damn. Yeah, he's pretty involved in the gym in Spokane.
Oh yeah, 100%. And he knows enough now that he like does his own programming stuff, and he uses some of the old stuff we do and stuff, and we still stay in touch.
What a concept.
What's that?
Like, that's the goal.
Yeah, exactly. Sustainability.
Yeah.
But I was online coaching them when I was at the apartment. But when I moved in with you, that's when I was like, I want to start like trying to do something with this.
So the reason I asked that question is because I want to, like, I agree. I think the rebrand, but I also think, like, obviously for 2 different reasons. The rebrand was, you said catalyst, for a whole different reason. It was for the business, for the philosophy, for everything. Yeah. But I think that the warehouse changed so much for a different reason. Like, it just catapulted our content.
Yeah.
I mean, quite literally. Yeah. And so those are my...
Even it catapulted my ability to program design. It catapulted my ability to lead the team, write emails.
Leave the team?
Lead the team.
Lead the team.
Write emails, create things for the membership. Like, because I have so much space and time to myself inside this place that I can get so much more done. Yep. You know, drink a few rock stars at my desk and just crush through work. Yeah. But not literally a few people. I don't drink that much caffeine. But, it's hard.
That's my 2 answers. I think if the rebrand, obviously, biasly, me coming on full time, but the warehouse. I mean, I remember when the warehouse was an idea, and I was like, dude, that'd be sick. But I'm not part of that. That's you looking at retail space, real estate. Retail space.
To be completely honest with you, I wasn't even looking. Tori was.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I literally was like, hey, Tori, this would be cool. Like, you should look and see what it would be like. And she literally...
on the onlines.
So I remember texting her. Me and Shannon were in Bellevue at the Airbnb that we had to stay in while the last house was being built. And we were walking, and I was like talking to Shannon about it. And she was like, why don't you just have Tori start looking? Because you never do it. You never have time. Like, you want to start considering it, just have her look. And I was like, all right. Texted Tori. Literally a week later, she's like, hey, there's a place right by the house you're about to move into. It's a really good deal. You should come check it out with me. I was like, all right. Signed the paper that day.
Damn.
Literally happened that quick. Because I was like, this is way too close to my house and way too good of a deal and way too good of an opportunity. Yeah. And they'll do everything I need them to do inside, like, you know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. But if I had to take out marriage and daughter and just do business, it would definitely be rebrand, warehouse, not in any order, rebrand, warehouse, bringing you on. Yeah. And honestly, not even bringing you on because of what we do, because at the end of the day, obviously, we literally can get twice as much done now that you're a full-time. Without a doubt, the productivity and the help has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
But more from the standpoint of, like, I hired my best friend and let him leave his job that he wanted to leave. Like, that's the coolest fucking thing.
And there's always, like, I know you can't even measure them, but, like, hiring a new coach, every single one of them after another, like.
Chief Science Officer was a huge thing, too.
Yeah.
I had a couple people reach out to me and they were like, that's a boss move.
Yeah.
Smart.
Dude, I like just mingle online and stuff, like Precision, just different train or nutrition companies and stuff. And, like, I don't know about them specifically or whatever, but, like, not many people have that. Like, you're like, whoa, that's interesting.
Especially not coaching companies.
Yeah.
I can count on my hand how many coaching companies have a chief science officer.
On one hand.
Yeah. And I know companies that have chief science officers, but they don't coach people. They're like they're an education platform.
The company doesn't or the CSO doesn't?
The company doesn't. So it makes sense that they have CSO because they're creating education for coaches to learn and get certified and do stuff like that. You almost need a chief science officer.
Yeah.
You also need a chief education director. Like you need all these things because you're an education company.
Yeah.
But coaching companies, 3DMJ has one, which Eric Helms became the chief science officer.
And he's a coach.
And he's a coach.
Yep.
He started the company as a coach, and then he became the chief science officer of 3DMJ, from what I understand. I believe Steve Hall with Revive Stronger does. I think Miguel Pascoot, who's been on the podcast. I think he is their CSO. But I don't know. And I also don't think there's as many people who have a CSO that is as involved as Brandon is. Sometimes I think it's one of those things where, and this is not saying any one direction, like for example, Eric Helms is extremely involved in everything they do. So this is not even remotely close to him because he directs. He started the company. Yeah. He directs so much.
Everything.
But there's a lot of companies too that like bring on a CSO for the sake of saying they have a CSO, it seems like. But like Brandon writes our content. He is on our podcast all the time. He creates infographics to teach our followers.
Webinars.
He does webinars every single month to teach the coaches. He emails back and forth with our coaches every single week. Yeah. Like sometimes I get CC'd on him, and he'll just pop in and be like, hey, I just want you to see these conversations I'm having. And it's like all the coaches just learning and talking to him and asking him questions and giving him client examples. And I'm like, yes, that is the whole purpose of having a CSO.
Yep.
It's just somebody to completely direct the education.
Touche.
It's sick, man.
Great accomplishments.
Yeah.
Should we do one more?
What am I excited for? That was the other thing.
Oh, what are you looking forward to?
Okay, so like the Fantasy Factory thing's I'm not even going to say that because that's like a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Like, why is it called a pipe dream?
I don't even know what that meant. I mean, assuming that's like a big dream?
A pipe dream is like, it's like something that's kind of unrealistic. Like, it's like out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it's called a pipe dream.
All
it's
right.
Weird. Like, you play baseball as a kid. Major League Baseball player. That's my pipe dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We get it.
This is much more realistic than me ever becoming a pro athlete, but I don't, because that's literally predicated on our neighbor moving.
Yeah.
It's like being able to have that opportunity. What am I most excited for? That's a pretty tough question, to be honest with you. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
The mentorship's going to be great.
Dude, I was going to say
excited,
the mentorship.
For the team development. We just brought on a couple new coaches that are amazing.
Maybe the
team
meeting in 2021.
What's that?
The team meeting in 2021.
Get 2 computer screens?
No, the team meeting. Like meet
up.
Meet
up. Yeah. I thought you meant like how big the meetings will be by the time that we get there. But yeah, I'm excited for that as long as fucking COVID ends and we can all meet up, because that's why we haven't set a date yet. And so I'm definitely excited for that. I'm also really excited for the charity stuff that we're going to do. So that'll be really cool because this time was like a big test. Obviously, the shirts went out like 2 weeks later than we expected, because just for people listening, if you didn't see my Instagram story, we got all the shirts back and they had like misprint on all of them. And we weren't about to send out a bunch of shirts that had like these marks on them because it just didn't look nice. So we actually had to get them all completely remade and pay extra for rush delivery because it took so long. So it actually went out today as we're recording this.
Do you have mine?
What's that?
Do you have mine?
At my house.
Oh, okay.
Or no, actually, no, it'll get shipped to you because we did direct ship.
Okay.
Because originally we got all of them to ourselves.
Damn.
And then we were going to ship them out individually because
Yeah.
you save some money. And then we can like write a hand note and everything. But now we just paid the company to ship them right from the warehouse because we didn't want to waste any more time.
Damn.
So you'll get yours. But if you want an extra one, there's a box full of ones with a little white thing on the collar.
Ew.
Yeah. But they're good for like workout shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for that because we're learning how to make the process more efficient. We got like a bunch of, just so much good feedback of people like happy that we're doing it, and feedback from people saying like, hey, we'd love if you could donate to this one time, or like you could support this charity one time. So I'm hoping to build it up to the point where people reach out, like charities reach out and say, hey, we want to partner with you on your next t-shirt launch.
Sick.
I want to grow it that much to where like the charity itself reaches out and partners with us for these launches.
Yeah. Did you reach out to Fuck Cancer and like notify them that we were doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I wanted to use their logo on our sales page. So basically we just reached out just to say like, hey, can we use your logo?
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. And they were, of course, all about it. But yeah, like I'm excited for that because I think like, in 3 years, we'll have like a storefront with all these shirts and like all these different charities that they support. Like imagine if you could go on and we're selling thousands of shirts a month, and there's a bunch of shirts you can buy and each one is for a different charity. So you can support the charity of your choice depending on what you buy. It'd be so sick.
That would be
so cool. And what I would want to do is if we did get the Fantasy Factory, I would get a printing machine.
Yeah.
Fuck the middleman. We're printing them here, shipping them out ourselves.
That's so sick.
Yeah. Because we already have a guy, one of my clients actually does the designs for us, no charge at all because he just wants to be a part of the charity. So if we have a design guy, we have the printing.
T-shirts.
T-shirts is the only thing we need, and you can buy those in bulk. You know what I mean? And just fucking print them out there. Be so dope.
Let's go.
So sick.
Dude.
So I've been thinking a lot about that. I got Shannon an email. So Shannon at tailoredcoachingmethod.com. She's on the website now, director of charity, because she's going to take that. And I don't want people reaching out to me because it'll get lost in the weeds, and I have what I have to focus on.
Yep.
So she can direct that and set that
Sick.
up, and she does the designs anyway. So
dope. That's so awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I think that'll be a cool thing once it builds.
Yep. All right. Last question is from the same person, C.I. Cooper. Better to focus on niche versus general coaching business? And is it the same if you are online versus in person?
I think, surpriser, it depends.
Yeah.
I think it depends on if you are by yourself doing this or if you have a team. Because if I would have made a really, really hard niche, like I only work with burnt out male CrossFitters who want to recover and repair. Very, very niche market, which is a good, like people will pay a lot of money. I've competed in CrossFit. I'm a male. I really care about fitness, but I'm beat up and I need a better restorative, like Active Life RX. That's all they do. They work with men and women of all ages, but point being, that's a very niche market. If you go that route, you need to find people to be on a team that match that exact niche. So now you have to find a bunch of other people that are just like you with the same interests as you, that have the same passions as you and the same style of coaching as you and the same knowledge as you and want to work with the same clients as you. It becomes really difficult. Doesn't mean it's a bad idea. It just becomes difficult.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like, I don't really want to manage a team. I don't want to work with people. I want to just do this on my own, do a solo thing. Then having a niche could be a good idea because you can niche down to the person you work best with and just focus on that. I'm a generalist. I want to help everybody I can. And I would rather be a generalist and be patient. So instead of me being niched and being the guy for this one thing and blowing up quick and getting recognized as the blank guy, Brett Contreras, the glute guy, he niched down hard.
Good example.
And I can't shit on that. He has a great business, and he's really well known. He's a really fucking smart dude.
Yep.
He has just a different goal than me, So for me, it was like I could take more time. I could not focus on how many people know what I do specifically, and just be like, I'm a generalist that helps all these people. Then I can build a team of a bunch of different people who work well with a bunch of different people. Right. So I have different coaches that specialize in different things who match up with different personalities and who cater to different results better. So now anybody who comes to me, I have the perfect fucking coach for you, no matter what. So I personally think generalist, and I don't think it changes if you're online or in person. I think The only time it changes is like I was the nutrition guy at Vigor. I was the nutrition guy, the fat loss guy. Like, you know, I'm not like the performance guy. I'm not the rehab guy. I'm not like, it's fat loss, nutrition. But the reason is because I'm in a team of a bunch of individual people who all kind of have their own personalities, niches.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, how can I be different and cater to the person I know I'm best with? I know I'm best with people who want to get super lean, and I know I'm best with people who need nutrition help or who will commit to nutrition help, because that's my like thing. And in that case, it was smart. But as I shifted away from that, I was like, I need to be more general. You know, performance, muscle growth, fat loss, anything.
Yeah. Men,
women, young, old. You know.
And you decided to go away from the niche thing pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. It was one of those things. I knew I was going to, no matter what. It was just a matter of going. You know, the book, I think it's called Changing the Game. Or The Game Changers. No, The Game Changers, that documentary. I don't know what it is. But John Berardi wrote a book. Really good book. I haven't finished it yet. But I got it. A bunch of people kept raving about it, so I finally dug into it. But he talks about being a generalist in it. And Precision Nutrition is a good example of that. Very general company. They work with everybody. It's one of the most successful nutrition coaching companies that has ever been created. I mean, he sold for like fucking $7 million or something like that. I don't really know the details of it, but if a nutrition coaching company is worth $7 million, he's doing something right. You know, maybe it was $5 million. I know it's millions. It doesn't matter. For sure. It was worth a lot of money, and they've changed the industry. I think John Brody was the first online coach, literally. Wow. Yeah. He was the first he's the first person to really create a nutrition certification program too. That's the first cert I ever did. I did PN 1 and 2. We've had some of them on the podcast, but I think in my opinion, generalist is better, but that's also a biased opinion because I know what I want to create and what I'm building as a team, and we work with everybody. So I think it comes down to if you want to build a team or if you want to do it solo, and if you have a highly specific person that you like working with or not. You know, there's some people who I do recommend a niche. Like I had one mentor client that I was like, you need to work with CrossFitters who are over the age of 40. Because that matched perfectly to the people she could cater to the best. So her marketing, her content, everything needed to be geared towards that, because those are the people that are going to jump all over what she does. And she was a one-man show, one-woman show. Yep. So yeah, I think it depends.
That's dope.
Yeah. A lot of business questions in this one.
Yeah. So that was the last question. I was going to ask you something that I lost it right there with the niche thing, but
do you want me to hit some like noisemakers?
Nope. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week.